What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match preview time. Stop me if you've heard this before, but it is a huge game. Must win. Make no mistake about it. It's a must-win game for Leeds United this weekend. West Ham versus Leeds United. It's survival. This is it now. We're down to the last two. We're running out of rope now. A point. Nah, we need 3 points. So Leeds United, please get the win. Goodbye. No. Before I continue, please hit a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed and drop your comments below. Richard Moore, morning KG from New York. Looking forward to your comments. Love New York, Richard. I hope you're well there. Some people around from Australia. Yeah, all over the place. Wherever you are around the world. Jason's out. Must be on holiday out in Turkey. Shout out to everyone, man. Let's have a look. Yeah, A&E KG's worldwide audience. It's good to see, man. It's always good to see support from all over the place. It's crazy looking in the analytics and seeing different countries around the world, man. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, before I continue, John Abbott, Mr. P, Karen Curtin, thanks to you for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated. Andrew Fournay saying here, it's up to us to decide our own future and not rely on others anymore. Okay, got you. Yeah, 100%. I mean, all this, even with the press conference today, we're hearing stuff about West Ham, it being a good thing that they went through. West Ham are now through to the Conference League final, which, hopefully, as Sam Allardyce says, will make some of their players second guess themselves. It was more mind games from Big Sam today in terms of saying to West Ham players, you don't want to get injured for that game, so probably don't try as hard kind of thing. Say to David Moyes, you might want to leave out some of your key players because we're going to be up for this one. And if they're not up for the fight, things might get sticky. It's all mind games, isn't it, from Big Sam? But he's an experienced guy, so he knows what he's doing with those kind of words. But, I've just seen so much joy this week, people. I've seen so much joy in terms of Coventry fans. Coventry versus Luton for the playoff final. Coventry, man, Premier League heritage as well, by the way. Hadji, Cheapo, Dublin, Huckabee, heritage, Coventry City. So, you got a Coventry Luton Championship final. One of those two teams are going to be in the Prem. Seeing West Ham jubilant this week. Newcastle are one step away from Champions League. Man City are doing what Man City are doing and looking potentially on for the treble. And then you got us. It's like, it must be nice to have some joy in your lives, isn't it, when it comes to football? It must be nice. Reverend Knight saying Coventry, I hope they go up. Listen, I'm liking either one, because hey, it's a good story for Luton. If they go up, it's going to be tough, but Coventry, man, there's some heritage behind that. You know what I'm saying? Huckabee and Dublin, that was some partnership back in the day. But we need to win, man. We need to get a win on the board. I'm so tired of not winning games. And when I'm setting these things up, I've put it in the playlist for match previews or match reactions, and I'm just seeing the lack of wins that we've got. It's actually embarrassing, man. Actually embarrassing. Jake saying Darren Huckabee, fun player. Yeah, I mean, I when I used to speak to Darren, he used to say about his time at Leeds, he didn't think it was a big success, but it was understandable when he came. He came at the time when there was Kuehl, Bridges had just been signed. There was better players, and he even said, like, he kind of wasn't subservient to them, but he wasn't as a direct as he was at Coventry City. He wasn't giving it his all like he did, for Coventry, because there were better players around him. So he played within himself, but he still did okay for us. He wasn't great, but he did okay for us, I thought. So look, Stanty saying thoughts on Drame's camp telling Leeds he's done at Leeds. Well, I mean that's Fabrizio Romano's come out and said that Leeds are still trying to persuade him to stay. I don't think his camp has told him that he's done. But even if they were to say that, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. I've made my feelings very clear on here before. And if he was to leave, everyone should be wishing him well, because when he left on loan to get more first-team football, everyone wished him the worst and more. So he's well within his rights to explore his options, and especially being failed after two managers didn't play him. When you look at our right backs and you think, are you sure I'm not better than these two? You've got to say. Michael, I mean, look at, and you know what, talking about jubilant fans, Sheffield Wednesday. How could I leave that one out, Michael? So pleased for Darren Moore. Sheffield Wednesday 4-0 down from the first leg to a 5-all draw, then penalty win. Leeds must take inspiration. Imagine that, taking inspiration from Sheffield Wednesday. But this is what I'm saying, man. There just seems to be so much joy. Obviously, Peterborough aren't feeling the joy. I can't imagine how they're feeling. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds possibly in the same league again, and it's a coin flip, isn't it? If you was to decide the result of that game now, you wouldn't know who's going to win it. Shows you where we are. But hey, West Ham have played their game. They've got through to the Conference League final. We've got to use that. Unfortunately, we've got to take every option possible and every avenue, every piece of hope possible, and say, okay, West Ham might not be feeling this game so much. They might have an eye on that Conference League final. Leeds have to want it more from the start anyway. Our Premier League survivals on the line. A lot of these players' Premier League futures are on the line. A lot of their wages are on the line because once some of these players leave the Premier League, they're done. They're done at Premier League level. They're not coming back. So it's on these guys to want it more and just to play an effective football game. You know what I mean? It's just um yeah, and Stanley just confirmed about drama. Yeah, just to play a complete football game. And you know what? Not even complete. You know what I take at this point? I take West Ham battering us for 89 minutes. We go up the other end and get a last minute winner. I don't care how we get the 3 points. I just want them because obviously the games on Saturday. Let me just go through them. Regardless of what happens with the games on Saturday, because I know everyone plays before us. Let me just get those up. Right. So Everton play Wolves away, which is, I mean, you don't know what Wolves are going to turn up. And obviously, Forest play Arsenal at home. And who's our other one? It's Leicester, isn't it? Of course it is. How could I forget? Leicester on Monday. Oh, Leicester away at Newcastle, man. I mean, come on. I know there's been some kabuki results lately, but no, Newcastle is securing that Champions League, in my opinion. So whatever happens, though, we need to get the 3 points and then make that Spurs game where Spurs are literally probably not going to be playing for much. They're not going to be playing for much, and we're going to be playing for everything. It's going to be a brilliant crowd at Ellen Road. Got to make it count, but got to get this job done first this weekend. AD saying, I have confidence in Big Sam, good presser again. Yeah, I mean, just a couple things to take from it as well. And by the way, Jose Mourinho, people, wash manager according to some, another European final. That shows you, well, if he's washed, I'll take his washed any day of the week. Okay, I take Jose Mourinho's washed years above anybody else who's highly rated at this time. Another European final, and it's not with Milan, it's not with Juventus, it's with Roma. Guy's a legend, man. Guy's a legend. Um, so no Firpo for this game. Obviously, he's banned for this one, so he's out the reckoning. Rutter's out with a knee injury, along with the other usual suspects. He was asked about Rutter, which was something that I wanted to see was going to happen because obviously Rutter played in the under 21s. He did, okay, fairly well, got a goal anyway. And he, I don't know if you saw the press conference, people. Let me know. Let me know. He almost didn't look like he knew who he was talking about. He said when the journalist asked him, "Is Jorginho? How is he progressing?" He almost went, "Oh yeah, Rutter." He almost didn't know who he was talking about, but he basically said that Rutter is for next season. He says that so whatever starting lineups that you guys have in your head, just take Rutter out because he's not going to be there. But he says that it's not just down to ability; you have to have more when you're playing in the Premier League, and it's something that I said something that I said when he was signed. I said that I think that we're going to sign him now and give him 6 months to bed into the league, bed into the country, get used to the league in certain ways because he'll have 6 months. And I think that's how Leeds United were looking at it as well at the time. I think they were looking at him as an investment. Obviously, not what we needed at the time, granted. Um, but I thought it was going to be that we slowly bed him in. Then obviously that injury to Rodrigo happened at Accrington Stanley. Please don't start the blame game on that one. He got injured in that game, and thus we had to use him a little bit more than I think that the club were even planning to. So I think that the plan was always just to get him in slowly and then unleash him next season. You know what I mean? Because it can't just be down to age. I'm not having the age thing because we've seen other players do it. We've got one of our own in Nanto who's come in and hit the ground running. So it's a case of him getting used to the country, getting used to the league, and then unleashing him next season. I don't think they envisioned that we was going to be fighting the bottom three by the second game of the season, so second to last game of the season, and that is what I thought at the start. Anyway, I never saw him coming in to be an outright replacement for anyone this season. I thought they were just going to slowly bed him in, but you know, injuries happen and things like that. So we'll see what happens. So there goes that question with Rutter. But when you look at it as where we are right now, it was a bad piece of business at the time. You know, if we were to lose him this summer, somebody else come in for the summer, you say, okay, and then you move on to your next target. In hindsight, of course, this is hindsight talking. You know, this is hindsight talking 100%. But as we look now where we are, that 35 million could have been used elsewhere, couldn't it? um, Abdul Rahman saying KG are winning Sunday, march on together. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we'll do our score predictions in just a moment, but yeah, we've got to win. No more messing about now. What else was of note? He had a shooting people analogy saying that something like you'll run the fastest you'll ever run if a gun is pointing at you, or you'll freeze. I think he's just talking about in the circumstances we're in, right? Yeah, some old school stuff. I mean, also talking about AI and jobs and everything. I'm not getting into all of that. That's for him. What one thing that did make me laugh though in the presser was I mean Jeremy, you're saying we should have signed a quick fix such as Danny Ings. No, we shouldn't have because he's gone to West Ham and they're not happy with him and they've signed him on what I think it's like a 4-year contract. Never wanted Danny Ings on a 4 years. I said when Danny Ings was made available from Villa, if you could get him on a loan, perfect signing, 100%. But permanently, you don't want Danny Ings permanently because now you're stuck with him. This is why you have to look at these kind of things. Danny Ings was never going to be the answer, and he's proven that at West Ham he hasn't exactly pulled up trees there. So for me, now Danny Ings, there's other players around, man. It's like when people get five names in their head, they think there's only five footballers in the world, but Danny Ings hasn't done much at West Ham, has he? You know what I mean? Um, when he said when Sam Allardyce said about we get too hyper on the ball because we put so much energy into pressing the opposition that when we get the ball we're too hyper with it. Big Sam's basically saying that we can't play football. I just read in between the lines, and he's basically saying that these guys can't do much with the football because too hyper with the ball. What are they? A bunch of 5-year-old kids? I found that pretty funny. I think I if I've read it wrong, cool. But I just think he's seen the possession that these guys try and create in the games and said, you know what, man, we'll just do something else. Um, oh, Abdul Rahman with the super chat. Oh, okay. Thank you for that donation, pal. Thank you so much. Um, Karen saying ridiculous how most expensive is not being played. As I've said before, though, I mean, as you go on in the Premier League, you'll get expensive signings that you won't play, but we're just not in that position to do it. Um, you know, right now we're playing Nanto more than Rutter's ever going to see this season. So it's not always about the price paid, but when you just look at it in, you know, coldly, 35 million on somebody that is basically an under 21s player at this stage, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But we'll talk about all that at the end of the season, of course. T85 is saying Big Sam is our X factor this season. He's got to be T85. If he's not, then we're playing championship football next year. Simple as that. Simple as that. So and also just to clarify as well, he wasn't talking about any of that when asked if he'd be here if Leeds are relegated. So he's not getting into any of those kind of discussions now. So maybe they haven't had those kind of talks, and they're just going to see where we are come the end of the season. Um, but yeah, I think that is it. That is it. I'm not going to be here too long today. I want to make this quite a quick preview. The match reaction link is in the description as well. So if you want to click the reminder for that to join me on Sunday, come through, man, and we'll talk the game through together. Uh, Yeah, Kevin here saying meant to say you did not read it wrong, KG. Yeah, I don't think I did, man. I don't think I did. But he can't come out and just say that these guys are butters on the ball, can he? The March Down podcast. If we stay up, hopefully the 49ers have had a long look at the mismanagement of this club and will be able and be more able to make the right choices. Well, yeah. If they haven't learned from the past 2 years of absolute, I mean, mediocrity is probably being too nice, isn't it? When you put it in totality of what we've done over the past 2 years. Now, for me, it has to be gutted out. Everything. Even that report that Phil Hay put out earlier. I didn't read it, so I'm not going to get into the details of it. Talking about Bielsa being considered if we was in the championship. I mean, if that's the case, even if that was the case, he would have to have new players anyway because the old ones quit on him. Yeah, people don't want to say it, but they quit on him. They absolutely gave up on him. They gave up on the methods that got them Premier League salaries. You know what I mean? They gave up on it. So whether we're in the Championship or the Premier League, the squad has to change. It has to change. So, and I'm not going to talk about that whole Bielsa thing. He's the manager of Uruguay. That is that. But I'm just saying, if he was to ever come back, how can he even look some of those guys in the eyes again that just down tools on him? I wouldn't do it anyway. But I'm a different kind of person, man. Yeah, I'm with you, Shane. I'm grateful for what Bielsa did, but I'm so sick of hearing about him at present. I'm with you 100%. But this is what happens in this fan base. This is what happens with Leeds United. Whenever we've been linked with somebody or have had somebody at the club, until they're dead, there's always a chance that they might come back to the club. It's as simple as that, isn't it? It's so and it's that's why when I say that fans are sometimes part of the problem, this is what I'm talking about. It's just pining for stuff instead of trying to move forward. And I'm with you, Shane, 100%. I'm sick of hearing that. That's why I didn't read the article. I didn't read it because I'm not in, not just because I'm not interested, but because it's just like, oh, he's actually got a new position now, and we're still getting articles about him. But it's easy clickbait. It's easy to read, and Leeds United reporters know that Leeds United fans in general want the guy back anyway. So it's just easy media stuff, isn't it? So I don't blame Phil Hay for writing it, but it's just easy journalism, isn't it? Um, Glenn here saying, new to your page, KG. Let's hope we win on Sunday and results go our way. Yeah. You know what, Glenn? Even if, let's just say Everton win, yeah, and somehow Leicester beat Newcastle on Monday, we just need to win so we can take it to the last day. If we don't win, it just makes it so difficult. And it would kind of tell me a story as well. If we can't beat whatever version of West Ham's coming out on Sunday, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to be an easy game. Please, I'm not saying that nothing is easy for this Leeds United team, but they've just come back from Europe. They're in the European final. They've got other things to think of. They're safe in the league. We've got everything to play for. If we can't get up for this, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, Jack. Yeah, it is tedious hearing about Bielsa. Yeah, I'm the same as well. I'll always love the guy for what he did in terms of reawakening the club. I'll always say that, but it ended horribly, and you don't get sacked for no reason. You don't get sacked for no reason. It doesn't end. It's just like a marriage, isn't it? You can. It's like if you got divorced and you all of a sudden keep thinking about all the good times you had, forgetting why it ended. I just think people just need to move on, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, man. Um, Oh, Sly. KG, you need to start covering stories of the great one return, Jesse Marsh. I don't know where he's gone. I haven't seen it. Renee is saying, good morning from Texas, USA to everyone. Praying we can pull out a win this weekend, but feeling pretty sick about it. Yeah. See, I'm not. The nerves I had up against Bournemouth was insane. I can't tell you how nervous I was in the lead up to the game against Bournemouth. But this one now, I think because you kind of see where we are in the league, you see the quality of the team, and you're thinking, if we can do it, brilliant. If we can get 3 points, lovely. But absolutely nothing tells us we're going to win a game again in the Prem this season anyway. So I hear what you're saying. I'm going to be nervous once the game comes, as always. But honestly, the lead up to Bournemouth, I was a bag of nerves. uh, Tom saying, KG, what's you thinking on left back? We need one. If you're talking about for the game this Sunday, uh, probably Pascal Struijk. I mean, he said Cooper's back in training for what that's worth. I don't know if that means he's going to be match fit or not. So it's probably going to have to be Pascal, isn't it? probably. I wouldn't put Rasmus Christensen there. Rasmus had a good game against Newcastle at centre back. I'll give him that. But left back, no chance. What? No chance at all. But yeah, listen, people, let's get into score predictions now. I've got one in mind, and again, this is more from my logic has been thrown out the window, wholeheartedly admitting that I'm going with a 3-2 Leeds win because we're going to concede. So maybe Harrison can run that hat trick back. Rodrigo score. Come on, let's do something. Let's do something. So yeah, 3-2 to Leeds for me, and that is based on hope, 100%. Not even going to trick you. Let's go. Jaguar saying 2-1 Leeds win. I'll take it. Gil also going for a 3-2 win. Yeah. Um, yeah, Dan, I was a bag of nerves last year. This year, I'm so worn down. I need summer to arrive, whichever division we are in, so be it. Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the path of I don't want to get relegated. I think you're saying the same, Dan. But it's just like I can't keep worrying like I have been. It's no good. Honestly, the time it takes thinking about this club and where it could go, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So yeah, I'm with you, Dan. Bradley, man, 3-0 West Ham. If that happens, man, boy, I might not do the stream. I might not do the stream. Ian saying 2-1, but I can see it being 2-2. Graham here, 2-1. Dan saying 3-1. CB, yep, 8-0 leads. Why not, CB? Why not? Radaby leads with a super chat. Thank you, Radaby leads. New goalkeeper, Drame, Rasmus, Stroik. New left back, Greenwood. New CM, James, Aronson, Somerville, Gelhart. A few new signings. We good next season. I mean, Radaby leads. That's for a whole other stream. Radaby leads. That's all for a whole other stream. Because I'll be honest with you, some of those names you just mentioned there, I wouldn't trust them in the championship. I wouldn't trust them. And as always, when people name championship teams, they put Drame down. Drame is not guaranteed to be here. The cards, he holds all the cards, not us. Usually, player power is a thing, but he's got a year left on his contract. I don't see Leeds want him to sign a new one. We'll see, but I don't see it happening. I want him to stay. I do, because I think he's got good potential. I'm not saying he's the be all end all. I'm really not, but it's not up to us. But Rasmus, Greenwood, Dan James, no, man, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I mean, Dan James might be good in the championship, let's be fair, but nah, man, nah, nah. Seeing this team here, you're making me want to take the season off next season. Just kidding, people. Just a little joke. Bradley is saying opinion on Bamford's mindset right now, right for him to start. I mean, I wouldn't start him anyway because he's been awful. In terms of his mindset, in terms of everything that's been going on, this is a perfect opportunity where you can stick your fingers up at people and say, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm about." Can you do it that way instead of wilting? Can you do it instead of looking fragile? Can you show people and prove them wrong? That's the mindset he should be in. But we all know the mindset of a lot of these players, and it's from that kind of guard as well. Has he got that in the locker? We'll see. I think he will start Bamford and Rodrigo together again. I think they possibly will start, but this is on him now. Prove people wrong. Not for them, not for them to go, oh, I'm wrong. Do it for yourself, man. Do it for yourself and get off 3 Premier League goals for the season. Do yourself a favor. But we will see, won't we, Bradley? Bumps. Bob said, I've just joined the stream. I saw Greenwood now. I want to turn it off. Listen, everyone's got their. I see people's ideal 11s for championship more than you could believe. As Pep would say, more than you could believe. More than you could believe. And some of the names in there make me want to cry. And I don't cry that much at all. But some of them make me want to weep. You know what I mean? It's one of those. But we just need to see where we're going to be, people. Hey, yeah, Annie, yeah. Bamford with the winner. See that's a story that we should be seeing this Sunday. Create headlines like that. Bamford getting the winner against West Ham. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh yes, Andrew Llorente. I don't know if anyone's heard about this, But Roma won't be taking up the option to sign Diego Llorente. I should have probably put that in the title and saying I'm crying all the time. I hear you. But yeah, Llorente won't be staying at Roma, so he will be coming back to Leeds. Now, whether that means he's going to be here next season, I probably doubt it. I think he'll probably be looking for another loan move out unless we can get a permanent move for him. But Roma are not signing him. They're going to be signing Evan Ndicka. And if you've seen Evan Ndicka play, you'll understand he's a quality centre back. And Evan Ndicka is somebody that I said last summer I would love Leeds to be looking at, but we're never going to be in the market for someone like that. But it is what it is. But yeah, Llorente, he's coming back. Carlos though is saying Llorente in the championship would be would be class. Listen, I'm not even thinking about championship yet. Listen, I know I've said that I'm not resigned to relegation, but it would be surprising if we stayed up. But I'm not thinking about it just yet. I'm gonna go like what a football club would do until the R's there. Then we'll deal with it. Then we'll deal with it then. Because all these signings that people talk about the Coventry striker. Again, if Coventry go up, Gyökeres is not going to come to Leeds United. He's just not. He's got Wolves, he's got Everton, he's got other clubs that are looking at him as well. So and he could literally go up with Coventry City. We're in limbo, people. We don't know what league we're going to be in. Nobody knows who we're going to sign or who's going to stay or go. Nobody knows that at all. Not one person, except for people at the club, of course. Tom saying Bate would be good value in the championship. Yeah, I think he's ready for a championship loan. So worst case scenario, if we were to go down, he would be a good midfield option for me in the championship. But again, I don't want to think about it. Venelin here, as we wind down, people. I said I wasn't going to be too long, and here I am, almost half an hour in. See what you guys in the chat kept me here. You kept me here, not under hostage. It's been a pleasure. Venelin here saying, did you see West Ham United celebrating with beers in hand? I didn't see that. You reckon they'll be able to see straight on Sunday? Well, you know what, Venelin? When we got promoted, when we were confirmed as promoted, our players were drunk and they went to Derby and schooled them. So it's not always a guarantee just because a few of them have had a few drinks that they're going to be out of it. So, but we've just got to want it more, Venelin. That's all it has to be. That's all it has to be. And yeah, Andrew, we are not down yet. It's not over yet, man. It's not over. We've got 2 more games to go. Got 2 more games to go. Right, people. Let's just end it there. I will see you all on Sunday for the match reaction. We'll talk through the game then. Please, Leeds, if there's anybody out there listening, I just want some joy. Just some joy. 3 points. That's all I ask for. 3 points, please. Please. Let's do this, people. Drop your comments below. Like the video. Best way to help the channel. And I will see you all Sunday, people. Have a good weekend. Peace out.